Good morning and welcome to the first devlog for Chronicle Destiny. Kind of. The first one since the last first one. Since Game Maker Studio 2.3 was released, I decided to restart development. I wanted to use the new features, the new structs, and the new methods, and decided that I'm not too far in development yet. I could still rebuild what I have on 2.3. It wouldn't take me too long, maybe a couple months, and restart I did. So let's see what is it that I have right now. Let's see how long. Hopefully it doesn't take too long to compile. Come on, it looks like it's just about to finish. There we go. So this is what I have so far. Let me just make it a little bit bigger. If I change this value to, let's say, 2, yeah, not too big, not too small. 3 is gonna take up the entire screen. Maybe I should have put 3. Let's see, 2. I think 2 will be enough. There we go. Yeah, not too big, not too small. This is good enough. So this is what I have so far. Let's move around using the WASD keys to move around. Everything looks good. I can also rotate the camera using the delete and page down keys on the keyboard, and the camera will rotate. So just a couple of things that are going on. First is the debug screen. So all the stuff that's kind of like at the edges of the screen, that's a debug overlay that I created just to give me information that I need. On the upper left, it says desktop and keyboard. The desktop is the platform that's running on, right? It's running on a desktop. Keyboard is the input device. Right now I'm using the WSD to move. I'm using the keyboard to move. And I can plug in a gamepad, which I'm going to do right now. And keyboard should change. There we go. It changed to gamepad, and now I'm using a gamepad to move around. It's still buggy. If I disconnect the gamepad, it's not gonna go back to keyboard, but I'll fix that in post. Kind of. Anyway, so I like that I was finally able to get the isometric view, isometric projection to work. Another thing that's going on is, first, the playable character is just truncated pyramid, or basically is a cube that has the top face shrunk down, just in order to distinguish all the sides. So the cyan side is the front, the red side is the back, right? The green side is the left side, and the yellow side is the right side of the playable character so far. If I rotate the camera, see right now there we go. The cyan side is facing towards the opening of this room. It's facing downwards. And if I rotate the camera, the cyan side is still going to be facing towards the opening. Right? The red side, which is the back, will be facing away. So basically, yeah, I can give it directionality and be able to be drawn properly. Right now, all these characters over here are being drawn just one sprite, always facing the camera. Same thing with the playable character, but is able to decide. Uh, there's um, eight sub images, each one for each direction, and is able to select which one is the appropriate one. And right now, everything is just programmer art, developer art. It is not the final artwork. It is just to see how everything will look, to see how everything, uh, to test ideas. I want to see like what size of a sprite I will need to represent a character. I use the images of Mega Man Battle Networks as inspiration, as reference. These characters basically have that the proportions of Mega Man.exe from that game. This one over here is big, is a big character, and I actually think it's too small. I'm gonna play and see if I can make this one bigger. I think it should be bigger. Right now it looks too small for what I have in mind. The one over here is the smallest one. This one I based it off artwork from Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, more specifically Tinkerbell. And I think I cannot go smaller than this. This is the smallest size I can use and still have visible eyes. That's one of the main things I wanted to for things to be clear, the eyes of the characters, and I think this scale is proper. Again, this is not the final art. It's just testing out what size will work. It may be bigger, maybe smaller, but I am happy with this size, and I think I'm gonna build the characters so they fit sprites this size. Anyway, a bit more about the debug overlay. So again, this is the platform it is running on, and the input device it is using, keyboard or gamepad. Touch support will be added for mobile devices once I actually start doing that. Over here, there are different variables that I wanted to see. I was working on how to portray directionality, and these are some of the variables that are being used for that purpose. Over here, this is the name of the room that we're currently on. I'm going to put more information here as well, like how many objects are in this room, maybe also how many objects are active in this room. Over here is a bit more screen information. I will be adding more information over here, but right now it has the frame rate, I guess the target frame rate and the actual frame rate. And the bottom right, it has a representation of the gamepad, so it reacts to all the buttons when they're pressed and released, so I can see what's going on. In addition to that, it also works in HTML5. Previously, I had problems having it, um, the game running in HTML5. So here it is. As you can see on the upper left, it no longer says desktop, it says HTML. And everything works just the same as it does as the desktop version. And also still supports gamepad as well. And like I was saying before, I was having trouble running the HTML5 version of this game. Uh, and the reason I wanted it to work is because I want to post it, right? So this is my website, still a work in progress. But the main thing is this page, the alpha page. This is a prior build of the game. It doesn't have the directionality of the sprite. I had just gotten I was just testing the art in this build, and if I load it again, let's see, it's gonna come up with a different character. So right now, I guess I'm playing as the big guy. I reload it once more. There we go. Different character one more time. Okay, that's it. And as you can see, it is HIO. So I do have this posted on HIO. That's the reason why I want the HTML5 version. And as you can see, I posted the first one on the 14th of August. My initial build, basic 3D cube, basic keyboard, and I've been adding things since then. Right, Chronicle of Destiny will be an action adventure game. It will feature real-time dialogue to tell short stories. It will launch with 4 stories set in a new fantasy world. As development progresses, play the latest build on your browser or download the files to your computer. Mobile and console versions are also planned. So yeah, you can download the HTML, not the HTML5, the desktop version of the game, the executable, but like it's the same thing on the browser, so you don't have to. However, I'm not giving it too much priority, the browser version. There are some limitations, like actually one right now. I was working with tiles, see how they work. Why is it always so big? Right, I was working with tiles, and they show up. They're probably going to be sea fighting because I still have the grid rendering. But if I did not have the grid rendering, if I did not have the floor rendering, you wouldn't see the sea fighting. You will see the tiles. Let me disable the. Yeah, there's a lot of disabled code. Where did I put it? There we go. If I disable this line, and see, this is the line that does the orthographic projection, and I had to set it to a negative value this in order to make it work. Otherwise, it does not look properly. So yeah, as you can see, there are tiles. Again, I was just experimenting with the tiles, not the final art. But they work. In contrast, the HTML5, the tiles do not work perfectly. So right now I'm just thinking on HTML5, I'll just render the grid, and desktop version and all the other versions will have tiles turned on, so it actually looks better. See, this is how it looks with tiles on. So unless I can find a solution for this, which I am not giving priority, right? I'm just gonna draw the floor grid instead. But yeah, that's what I have so far. Let me close this. Let me close everything. That's what I have so far. And again, it is in HIO. And it's also on my website, bluestar03.com. And I'll be posting irregular updates. Yeah, I'm not gonna commit to like a weekly update or anything like that. But I will be posting my progress over here in HIO. And that is it for today. Any comments, is any kind of feedback is appreciated, and thank you for your time.